Hello there. In this video, I am diving into a recipe that's near and dear to my heart. It's a family favorite, passed down through generations. This isn't just a recipe, it's a trip down memory lane. The smell of cabbage and eggs sizzling in the pan always takes me back to my childhood kitchen. I am making cabbage and egg fritters, a dish so simple yet bursting with flavor. Don't let the short ingredient list fool you. This recipe is a real crowd pleaser. I'll start by prepping the star of the show, the humble cabbage. Then I'll sauté some aromatic vegetables to add depth and warmth. Eggs bind everything together, creating a satisfyingly crispy exterior. And what better way to top it off than with a dollop of creamy, tangy yogurt dip? I'll show you how to whip that up in a jiffy. This recipe is all about simple, honest food that warms the soul. It's about bringing families and loved ones together around the table. So roll up your sleeves and let's get cooking. Trust me, by the end of this video, you'll understand why this recipe has stood the test of time. It's pure comfort food, perfect for any occasion. Get ready for a symphony of flavors and textures. You won't be disappointed. Let's talk cabbage. Now, when you're picking your cabbage, you want to find one that's nice and firm. Give it a good squeeze. It should feel solid, not soft or squishy. The outer leaves should be vibrant and crisp, a good sign of freshness. Don't be afraid to peel off a couple of outer layers. They're a bit tough and best left for other dishes. We want the heart of the cabbage, where all the flavor and crunch are. Once you've got your cabbage sorted, give it a good rinse under cold water. Now, we need to get chopping. I like to cut the cabbage in half, then remove the hard core from the center. You can discard the core or save it for your stock pot. Every bit counts. Now, slice the cabbage thinly. You can go for long, thin strips or shorter bite-sized pieces. It's really up to you. The key is to keep the slices relatively consistent in size so they cook evenly. Now here's a little trick once you've chopped your cabbage. Sprinkle it with a pinch of salt and give it a good massage. Yes, you heard that right. Massaging the cabbage helps to soften it slightly and release some of its natural juices, making it even more flavorful. We're looking for a good balance of crunch and tenderness in our fritters. That is the beauty of cabbage. It's a versatile vegetable that can handle a bit of rough and tumble. Now let that cabbage rest for a bit while we move on to the next stage of our culinary adventure. I will now talk about aromatics. These are the ingredients that will infuse our fritters with incredible depth and warmth. Think of them as the foundation of our flavor symphony. I'll be using a classic combination of onions and garlic, but feel free to get creative and add your own personal touch. A pinch of dried herbs, perhaps? A sprinkle of chili flakes for a touch of heat? The possibilities are endless. But for this video, I'll stick to the basics and let the natural sweetness of the onions and the pungent aroma of the garlic work their magic. Grab your trusty chopping board and finely dice your onion. We want the onion to melt into the fritters, adding a subtle sweetness and a hint of sharpness. Next, crush a couple of cloves of garlic. The more the merrier, I say. Garlic brings a wonderful savory note that complements the cabbage beautifully. Heat a glug of olive oil in a large pan over medium heat. We want the oil to shimmer but not smoke. Add the diced onions and cook, stirring occasionally until they soften and turn translucent. This should take about 5 to 7 minutes. Now it's time to introduce the garlic to the party. Add the crushed garlic to the pan and cook for another minute or two until fragrant. Be careful not to burn the garlic, as it can turn bitter. We want it to release its aroma and infuse the oil with its garlicky goodness. And there you have it, the perfect base for our cabbage and egg fritters. The aroma alone is enough to make your mouth water. Now, let's move on to the next stage and bring all our ingredients together. Now let's introduce the glue that holds our fritters together, the humble egg. Crack 3 eggs into a large bowl, making sure no bits of shell sneak in. We want our fritters to be full of flavour, not crunchy surprises. Give those eggs a good whisk with a fork until they're light and frothy. This helps to create a light and airy texture in our fritters. You see, the eggs act as a binder, holding all the ingredients together and giving the fritters their structure. Without them, we'd have a bit of a soggy mess on our hands. Now season the egg mixture generously with salt and black pepper. Remember, we're aiming for a balance of flavours. The salt enhances the natural sweetness of the cabbage and onions, while the pepper adds a touch of warmth. Don't be shy with the seasoning. You can always adjust it later, but it's always best to start with a good pinch of each. And here's another little tip. A pinch of dried oregano adds a lovely earthy note to the fritters, but that's entirely up to you. Feel free to experiment with your favourite herbs and spices. Now it's time to introduce our sautéed onions and garlic to the party. Tip them into the bowl with the seasoned egg mixture. Next, add the star of the show, our prepared cabbage. We're going for a good, even coating here. Use a large spoon or your clean hands to gently combine everything until well incorporated. The mixture should be moist but not watery. If it seems a bit dry, you can always add another egg. We want the ingredients to cling together nicely, forming the base for our delicious fritters. And now for the fun part. Heat a generous amount of oil in a large frying pan over medium heat. We want the oil to be hot enough so that the fritters sizzle when they hit the pan, but not so hot that they burn on the outside before cooking through. This is where a little patience goes a long way. Tip number 3, to test the oil, carefully flick a tiny drop of water into the pan. If it sizzles and dances around, you're good to go. If it sinks to the bottom, give the oil a few more minutes to heat up. Now let's talk fritters. Using a large spoon, carefully drop spoonfuls of the cabbage mixture into the hot oil. Don't overcrowd the pan, as this will lower the oil temperature and result in soggy fritters. We want them crisp and golden. Aim for about 4 or 5 fritters at a time, depending on the size of your pan. Remember, we're not making pancakes here. We want our fritters to have plenty of space to breathe and develop their beautiful golden brown crust. Fry the fritters for about 3 to 4 minutes on each side, or until they're a glorious golden brown and cooked through. You'll know they're ready to flip when the edges start to turn golden, and you can easily slide a spatula underneath them. Now, flipping fritters is a bit of an art form. Using a spatula, gently lift the edge of a fritter to check for that beautiful golden colour. If it's ready, give it a confident flip. Don't worry if they break a little, they'll still taste just as delicious. Once our fritters are beautifully golden on both sides and cooked through, carefully remove them from the pan using a slotted spoon. This allows any excess oil to drip back into the pan, ensuring our fritters aren't greasy. Place the cooked fritters on a plate lined with paper towels to absorb any remaining oil. This also helps to keep them warm while we cook the rest of the batch. See that glistening golden surface? That, my friends, is the sign of a perfectly fried fritter. Repeat the frying process with the remaining cabbage mixture, adding more oil to the pan if necessary. Remember, patience is key here. We want all our fritters to be cooked to perfection, crispy on the outside, soft and flavorful on the inside. And there you have it! A plateful of golden brown, crispy cabbage fritters ready to be devoured. The aroma alone is enough to make your mouth water. But wait, we're not quite done yet. Every good fritter deserves a delicious dip, wouldn't you agree? I know that you find this video informative so far and will continue to find the rest of this video informational and very educational. So go ahead and give me some support. This is simple, easy and free of cost, but significantly very important. It will only take a few seconds of your time, and like I mentioned before, it will cost you nothing, but will help to grow my channel and also enable me to spread more valuable, needed information like this. Now, click on that thumbs up button. It's a simple act, but the impact can be massive. Imagine that simple click as a ripple in a pond, extending outwards to touch and influence others to become more conscious about becoming more informed about their health and well-being. It also helps to spread much-needed important information to a wider audience, which can potentially make a change in someone's life. So, go ahead. Show your appreciation for these types of informative videos. Click that thumbs up button to potentially make a change. Now, to ensure that you don't miss out on any more valuable content, click the subscribe button and the notification bell that is beside it, then select all to gain access to all the other videos on my channel and to stay up to date with any new ones that gets posted. Most importantly, subscribing is absolutely free. My channel isn't just about sharing, it's about building a community of knowledge seekers who understand the importance of staying informed and updated when it comes to a healthy lifestyle. Now, let's whip up a simple yet incredibly delicious yogurt dip that perfectly complements our crispy cabbage fritters. This dip is all about fresh, tangy flavors that cut through the richness of the fritters. You'll need just a handful of ingredients, likely already stocked in your pantry. I'll start with a good quality plain yogurt. Greek yogurt works wonders here, adding a lovely thickness and tang, but feel free to use your favorite yogurt. Remember, cooking is all about experimenting and making recipes your own. Add a squeeze of lemon juice for a burst of freshness. This brightens up the dip and adds a delightful citrusy note. Then finely chop a handful of fresh herbs, dill, parsley and mint work wonders here, imparting a wonderful aroma and freshness. If you don't have fresh herbs on hand, a pinch of dried herbs will do the trick. And of course, no dip is complete without a generous seasoning of salt and pepper. Remember, always taste as you go and adjust the seasoning to your liking. Now, for the final flourish. Give the yogurt dip a good stir, ensuring all the ingredients are well combined. You want the flavors to meld and mingle, creating a harmonious symphony in your mouth. Taste and adjust the seasoning as needed. A touch more lemon juice, a pinch more salt. Let your taste buds be your guide. This dip is all about freshness and simplicity, complementing the crispy cabbage fritters perfectly. And there you have it, a simple yet incredibly delicious yogurt dip that's ready to elevate your cabbage fritter experience. The tangy yogurt, the zesty lemon, the fresh herbs, and the perfect seasoning come together to create a dip that's both refreshing and satisfying. You can even prepare this dip ahead of time and store it in the fridge until you're ready to serve. This allows the flavors to meld and develop even further. The fritters are best enjoyed straight away while they're still warm and crispy. This dish is a taste of home. Share it with the ones you love. This cabbage and egg fritter recipe is a testament to the fact that the simplest dishes are often the most delicious. So go on, gather your ingredients and create your own memories around the table. The information provided in this video is intended for educational and informational purposes only. It is not intended as a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis or treatment. Always consult with a healthcare professional or a registered dietitian before starting any new diet or making significant changes to your eating habits or lifestyle, especially if you have underlying health conditions. Your health is your most significant asset, and it's crucial to make informed decisions under the guidance of professionals. Remember, there isn't a one-size-fits-all solution to health, and what works for one person may not work for another. Therefore, work with your healthcare provider to make the best decisions for your health. Use this information as a starting point. Thanks for tuning in. Remember, take action today for a healthier tomorrow. And in the meantime, keep an eye out for my next upcoming video. But until my next video, click on the playlist that is displayed at the end of this video for more informational and educational videos like this. Happy cooking and enjoy! Also, stay healthy, stay happy, and keep learning.